Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Watchlist by Magenta Trade. Today is Thursday, the 19th of May, and we are back with our regular YouTube live program, the Watchlist. Dow is currently down by 169 points, almost half a percentage down, and S&P 500 down by 11 points, down by a third of a percentage, minus 0.30%, and NASDAQ is actually up by 24 points, plus 0.21%. We'll come to that later, but let's first have a look at what we do at Magenta Trade. At Magenta Trade, we teach you how to grow your portfolio using option trading strategies. We explain in simple terms how you can participate in the world-leading companies with a fraction of the amount that you would need as normal investment. In the vast ocean of stock market, there are plenty of opportunities to gain from the movement of share prices every day. However, market is unpredictable, volatile, and sometimes complex to understand. In order to be successful, you need a disciplined, rule-based approach developed over a long period of experience in the market and focused on building a long-term portfolio to protect your hard-earned money. With that introduction, let's start our session. And first, let's have a look at our disclosures. Let me share my screen so that I can show you the disclosure. I'll continue the video for some time. Okay, so let's get started. All our discussions at Magenta Trade are solely for educational and information purposes. We are not investment advisors, and you should consult a financial advisor before making any investments. We are not finance professionals as well, and we are not aware of your personal financial circumstances. Options trading involve exceptional gains, but at the same time, they pose inherent risk. Past results are no guarantee of future gains. For more disclosures, you can visit our website, www.magentatrade.com. Now, a few words about me. I've been trading for more than 15 years now, and you can see all the kinds of instruments that I have been trading over the years. I've turned my personal trading experience and passion into professional coaching. And recently, I have formed a company called Magenta Trade to share with you my strategies of success in trading using simple terms and techniques. My favorite areas of coaching are trade management and money management. And I have experienced immense potential of trading options based on stocks and ETFs. And I help you understand how they might help you build a steady and reliable retirement income stream. As a coach, I focus on a daily routine, follow simple rule-based strategy, use simple tools to enter and exit the trades, and manage your positions in 15 to 20 minutes every day. We'll see if we can take any positions today. We'll just scan through the market and take a decision quickly. But let's get started with some of the earnings reports that we covered today. First one is Cisco. And Cisco Systems reported their April 2022 quarter earnings of 87 cents per share on a revenue of $12.8 billion, whereas the expectation was about 86 cents per share, and revenue was expected to be $13.3 billion. The stock is currently down by almost 14%, because the market obviously expected much better results. The revenue grew only 0.2% on a year-on-year basis. The company said it expects fourth quarter non-GAAP earnings of 76 cents to 84 cents per share on revenue of $12.41 billion to $13 billion, whereas the expectation was about $13.89 billion for the next quarter. Let's look at some of the numbers in detail. GAAP earnings per share increased by 7% year on year. And in terms of quarter for guidance, revenue declined 1% and to 5.5% decline year on year. Forward revenue for 2022 is expected to be 2% to 3% higher year on year. In terms of earnings per share, GAAP earnings is expected to be between $2.75 to $2.85. Solid demand with product order growth up 8% year on year and annualized recurring revenue at $22.4 billion in the third quarter of fiscal 2022, up 11% year on year. Okay, let's move on to the next company, VIP Shop Holdings. They announced their earnings report yesterday, and in the first quarter 2022 earnings, they reported 33 cents per share on revenue of $4 billion, whereas expectation was somewhat around those numbers as well, both in terms of earnings per share and revenue. The stock is currently up by 3.7%. The company said it expects second quarter revenue of $3.291 billion to $3.513 billion, and whereas the expectation was about $4.55 billion for the quarter ending 30th of June. Let's look at some of the other numbers. Gross profit for the first quarter was in 2022 was in US dollars about $790 million as compared with RMB 5.6 billion in the prior period last year. So it's just down by around 10%. Net income attributable to VIP Shop's shareholder for first quarter of 2022 was RMB 1.1 billion, which is US $172.8 billion, as compared with RMB 1.5 billion in the prior year period. The number of active customers for the first quarter of 2022 was 42.4 million as compared to 45.8 million in the prior year period. Total orders for the first quarter of 2022 were 166.4 million as compared with 175.5 million in the prior year period. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Advanced Drainage Systems, WMS. They declared their results today for the fourth quarter March 2022 with earnings of 95 cents per share on a revenue of $678 million, whereas the expectation was about $72 cents per share, and with a revenue of only $613.7 million. So the stock is up by 6%, 6.21%. Revenue grew 52.8% year on year. The company said it expects fiscal 2023 revenue of $3.1 billion to $3.2 billion. Currently, the expectation was only $3.01 billion for the year ending March 31st, 2023. Let's look at some of the other numbers. Net income increased by 126% to $47.1 million. Adjusted earnings before interest and tax and depreciation increased 78.2% to $168 million. In terms of fiscal 2022 results, excuse me. In terms of fiscal 2022 results, net sales increased by 39.7% to $2.769 billion. Net income increased 21% to $275 million. Excuse me, a free cash flow of $125.8 million. So that's Advanced Drainage Systems, cash provided by operating activities of $274.9 million. Moving on to the next one, BJ's Wholesale Club. BJ's Wholesale Club Holdings announced their first quarter, April 2022, earnings of 87 cents per share with a revenue of $4.5 billion. The consensus estimate was about 73 cents on a share on revenue of $4.2 billion. Revenue grew 16.2% year on year, and the stock is up currently by more than almost 10%, 9.6%. The company said it continues to expect fiscal 2023 revenue of approximately $17.12 billion. In terms of some other numbers, comparable club sales, excluding gasoline sales, increased by 4.1% year on year. Membership fee income increased by 11.9% to $96.6 million year on year. Digitally enabled sales growth was 26%. By the way, BJ's Wholesale Club Holdings Incorporated is a leading operator of membership warehouse clubs in the eastern United States. The company said our performance in the first quarter was strong as gains in member traffic underscored the value we provide. Our business model remains more relevant than ever in the current inflationary environment. Okay, let's look at now what we do at Magenta Trade. At Magenta Trade, we base our strategies on three dimensions of investments: long-term capital growth, building a retirement portfolio over a longer period of time, generating regular income using stocks and option trading strategies, ensuring your capital is adequately protected against severe market downturns so that your hard-earned money is not wasted in adventure. Now let's look at some of the profits that we booked for in the last 2-3 weeks. SPX gain of 15.5% in 5 days, workday gain of 8% in 10 days, another SPX gain of 14.65% in 3 days, Apple gain of 13.25% in 6 days, Microsoft gain of 10.84% in 6 days, Apple gain of 15.32% in 3 days, MACD gain of 7.9% in 15 days, another SPX gain of 15.38% in 5 days. Qualcomm, we recorded a growth of 12.5% in 10 days. Accenture, we recorded a profit of 10.67% in 10 days. And AMD, we booked a profit of 13.5% in 8 days. Those are some of the numbers in the last 3-4 weeks. At Magenta Trade, we believe the secrets of trading are you should be confident while you are investing, using specific criteria of entry and exit, following effective proven strategies to grow your portfolio, and safeguarding your capital from the massive volatility in the market. You should always look for opportunities in the market where the stocks are going up, down, or sideways. Our strategies should consider all scenarios that market present to us to explore new trading opportunities every day. At Magenta Trade, we teach you how to follow the simple steps to explore and invest in stocks and options, following clearly defined rules to trade management, entry, and exit. Practice the simple steps, use the available tools and resources, follow the rules so that the process becomes mechanical and efficient. Investment is a process of consistently applying the techniques that we teach on a regular basis and aim for success with perseverance and analysis. Even when the odds are against you, you need to follow the rules to protect yourself and maintain discipline to attain long-term results. Finally, investing is a process of continuous learning. There's no better investment than educating yourself with better strategies and techniques. At Magenta Trade, our complete focus is in educating the investors and traders so that they can find new opportunities by themselves and do their best with their investment. In our options trading masterclass program, we teach you the fundamentals of option trading, factors determining the pricing of the options, how the options help you make significant gains using simple small investments, and how you can protect your traditional investment in stocks and make regular income in your portfolio. We follow a step-by-step approach for entry and exit and in different market conditions to explore trading opportunities. Our rule-based strategies help you to find profitable trades using simple tools and techniques. We teach you how to manage your trades on a daily basis based on developing market conditions. In order to handhold you in the learning curve during the program, we help you with live trading sessions where we make real life trading and show you positions that we are trading. So that's as part of our option trading masterclass program. For more information on our courses and learning material, please visit our website www.magentatrade.com. In this watch list program, we navigate through the market, discuss about earnings, major announcements, and market developments, and we browse through some of the stocks that we keep on adding in our watch list. Okay, now let's see what's happening in the market quickly. Once again, let me open my charts. That's where I feel most comfortable. And SPX, S&P 500 is actually up now by almost 3 points, which is very, very nominal, of course. And as we saw yesterday, it fell within that bearish channel. So if you missed yesterday's session, maybe I would recommend you to join that session. We explained this bearish channel there, and we also explained how it fell as soon as it touched at the top of this channel. So now there is a possibility that it might come to the level of here, maybe somewhere, I'm not sure, maybe here. If it is here, 3811, that could be a possibility of a bottom where it might touch and then again bounce back. So let's see what happens. I'll just delete it in case you get confused what's happening, because I'm not sure when it will come down to that. But what I am also looking forward, or I'm also looking for a next support level is, or the major support level I would say, is at 3594 level. 3594, which is almost 300, more than 300 points away, but that's less than 10% now. So that's another major support level that probably we will be tracking. VIX is today down by 4%. In terms of NASDAQ, it is also up currently by 36 points on the back of strong growth on some of the stocks. And Dow is still down by 30 points. Dollar index is down by 1.2%, 1.17%. Gold is up by 1.3%, silver is up by 2.5%, and oil is up by 2.94%. Bitcoin is up by 5% today, and Ethereum is also up by 5.34%. So that's about the indices. And now let's have a look at some of the stocks that we track here at magentatrade.com. Advanced Auto Parts is up by 1.6%, and Apple is down by 1.3% now. Earlier it was down a little bit more. Now it has recovered. Now let's have some other news that are news headlines. Some of them is Harley Davidson. There is a news on that. So Harley Davidson, it says that it's suspending most vehicle assembly and shipment for 2 weeks due to parts issue related to a supplier. Its livewire division is excluded from the suspension. The stock is currently down by 8.8% today. So that's an update from Harley Davidson. Then, of course, Cisco, we went through the results. Cisco, the stocks are down by 14%, sorry, based on the earnings, poor earnings and the forecast. The firm said it had generated lower quarterly revenue than analysts predicted and called for an unexpected sales decline in the current period. Cisco said it was impacted by the war between Russia and Ukraine, as well as COVID-19 lockdowns in China. Another one, Coles Corporation. The stock is up by 4% currently. Earlier, it was actually down significantly. It opened down as the earnings were missed. Like it opened here, as you can see, and then it shot up. That's interesting. Cole said final and fully financed bids for potential buyers are expected in the coming weeks. Okay, so that's the news. So there's an expectation that there will be an acquisition bid. So that's why the stock is up today. The other one is Bath and Body. Bath and Body Works. The shares are currently down by 5% after the company cut its full year earnings and for earnings forecast due to inflationary factors. So if we would like to see the earnings per share actually increased by 21%, but the forecast is down, and revenue is $1.45 billion, which is in line with the expectation. So the stock is currently down by 5%. Another company is Under Armour. The stock is currently down by 11%. The reason is the CEO, Patrick Frisk, announced that he would be stepping down from the month of June. Another one is Goose Canada Goose Holdings. It's up by almost 12%. There was some positive earnings report. The company reported 3 cents per share in terms of earning, and revenue is $174 million for the quarter ended in March 2022. Target, after yesterday's miserable earnings report, the stock is down by another 4% today at $154. There is, of course, the analysts are rating the company as neutral or neutral from the previous buy ratings. Synopsis. Let's see a synopsis. PS. The stock is up by 12% on the back of good earnings report. Earnings per share is $2.50, whereas the expectation was $2.37, and the revenue was $1.279 billion. Okay, so those are some of the earnings numbers. There's another news probably I would like to share is regarding there is reportedly a legislation to limit the reach of the online advertising, or how the online advertising are played out or offered to the customers. This would mainly affect big online ad companies like, let's say, Google and Facebook, maybe Twitter as well. And the legislation is currently under discussion, but it has got backing of a number of um, members of parliament across both the both the sides, Democrats and Republican. So that's why it's significant, and it is actually based on some of the previous cases that were filed against Google in multiple states. So it has got a strong chance of getting through. The other news that I would like to share is regarding Tesla. Uh, Earlier this month, S&P Sustainable Index actually dropped Tesla from their list of stocks in their indices in their index, sustainable index. The reason they provided is that as a company, Tesla is not doing enough for the emissions reduction, or monitoring the emissions appropriately in comparison to other companies. So obviously, Elon Musk is not happy about that. Even today, Kathy Wood have commented on that. I'll not go into the details of those comments, but that's the news, that the stock was removed from that index. Okay, so it looks like Twitter is back up today after all the noise and battering. Let's see. It's up by 2.9% today. Let's see whether there may be some insider news whether Elon Musk is still interested to buy or not. I don't think he is. And if he do not have a if he doesn't have a very ambitious or visionary plan to turn around this business, or maybe flourish this business, then financially, calculating just by the numbers, he shouldn't, right? When he made that bid at that time, it was valued at more than $54 billion, I guess. And since then, it has lost more than $15 billion in terms of valuation. So if he now walks away, he just have to pay $1 billion, but he would save, $15 billion. So that makes more sense, right? For Tesla, for Elon Musk. And of course, Tesla shares are also significantly down since the announcement of the acquisition. So obviously, the Tesla shareholders would be happy as well. Okay, so let's see some of the stocks. We were looking at Apple earlier. There was one support level at 138.27. So it breached that support level today. So today's low for Apple was below that level, but now the stock is back up at $139. So let's see what happens. But maybe we will take a position on the company at it is at the almost at the bottom, so there's no harm taking a position there. So what I do, I log into my paper trading account there, just for the purpose of demonstration how we can take another position on Apple. And when I take a position on Apple, I don't just buy the share. I would sell some options as well. So let's open. I'll go to the favorites because I have to do a combined, you can say, buying of shares and sell off the options. So what I'll do is first I'll select an option that I would like to sell against it. Market price, obviously I know of Apple, what is there, we can see, and we'll enter at the market price itself. So because we are trading as a strategy, it really doesn't matter at exactly at what price we are entering. Overall, of course, it matters, but in terms of a few cents here and there doesn't really matter. So let's say we will sell one option of 17th of June. So if we are expecting, let's say, maybe the current stock price is around 139, 140. So maybe I would expect with almost 20 delta, yeah, the stock probably won't go beyond 150 or 155. Even if it goes, I'd be happy to sell it with a profit of $15, which is almost 10%, right? So what I do, yeah, so I will sell an option of $150. And how much I am getting the premium by selling a call option is 1.75, which is well, just 1%. So maybe you know what I'll do, I'll sell 145 call option. That way I'll get at least 2%. So that's what I'm looking for, minimum 2%. So let's do that. Well, there are two ways to do that. First, I will just open the, I will just buy the share here. I'll buy, let's say, 100 quantity. I'll buy 100 quantity and I'll select the mid price there, let's say 139.08, and then I will submit the order. So $13,908 I have to pay. That way I can buy the share and then I sell the option. The other way is I can actually create a combination order. So I'll click right click here and go down. I'll click on this generic combo, and there I go by pair or leg by leg. So I will select Apple. First, I'll buy stock. So the stock is I'm going to buy is 100. So I'll just increase that limit to 100, and then I'll sell some options on Apple. So I'll sell options, and I said I want 145. So I'll just select the 145 option, call option, and expiring June 17, and I will sell the call option. Okay. So sell one call option, 145 call option expiring June 17th. And then I will click here on add. So it will be added to the, so you see this declaration. So it's called a buy right transaction. So if I am buying, that means I'm buying 100 Apple shares and I am selling one Apple June 17 contract of 145 call option. So that is what I'm doing. I'll close this window, and here I will go again at the top. It's a buy right transaction, so I will just right click. Okay, continue, because I'm not going to directly buy it. I'm just going to buy this combination. So I click on, right click on this one and click on buy. So it will go to my order entry screen, and the combination price that I have to pay is 135.87. So let's say I'll click here to get the mid price 135.90 or whatever, and then click on submit. So I'm buying 100 shares, and I'm also selling one call option of 145 expiring 17th of June. So I have placed the order. Let me just expand it so that I can see the price, and it has filled now. So we have taken one position on Apple. Let's see whether we take some other positions as well or not. So that's how you can take a position with the buy right option. Okay, let's quickly browse through some other stocks. Accenture is up by 1.3%. That's also pretty, like today it touched the 52-week low as well, Accenture, and it's down by more than 50%, I guess, in this year. Analog devices, 2.4% up today. Akamai Technologies up by 2.3%. Applied Materials is up by 1%. When is their earnings? Today after hours. So yeah, after trading hours today, the earnings should be published for Applied Materials. Ambarella is up by 2.8%. AMD is up by 2.4%. So that's another stock. Probably we could take a position. It is still under this downward trend. Of course, Apple was also like that. It has just jumped from this bottom. So maybe I'll see whether I can get a better price on AMD. Amazon up by 1.5%. Arista Networks is down by 0.5% today. Air Products and Chemicals down by 0.7%. Applovin is up by 7.4%. Right. And then Digital Turbine is up by 6.3%. Activision is more or less flat. American Express is down by 1%. AVTR is up by 2.9%. Bumble, once again, up by 7%. It has crossed the 50 days moving average now. So that's interesting. Bumble, after the strong earnings results. Citibank is also up today, 1.4%. Actually, Citibank also looks very interesting, especially after the news that Berkshire has taken a position on Citibank. So we'll take a position in Citibank as well. Let's see. So the same way, we'll just take a position on Citibank just to explain. Generic combo, again, Citibank stocks. Of course, it will be 100 shares. And then we'll do a call option, we'll sell, and that's let's say increase the number of strikes. And we'll of course look at June 17 as the date. So if we sell the call option of 55, so we'll still get a profit of 10% on the share. Yeah, so that looks interesting. So we'll go by that. We're not getting much premium on that. So we'll get about 1% premium. If we have to get 2% premium, then we have to sell 52 pay 50, which is still good. 52.50. In the current market conditions, I think that is much better. So selling 50 call option and buying 100 shares of Citigroup. I'll create add. Click on add so that it will add to my portfolio or that watch list. So I'm buying 100 shares and selling 50 call expiring June 17. Okay. So I'll close this window here, and from here I will click on buy. So I will buy 100 shares and we'll sell one call option. Select the mid price and place the order. So what we will do, and today we will browse through some more stocks, and if I think that we can buy some more, we will do that. And tomorrow we will do the record keeping of these two transactions, how to keep a record of these two. Quickly, Chegg is up by 3.5%, and Salesforce is again more or less flat. Their earnings are expected, so we'll not take a position now. Crocs down by 0.8%. Let's look at the big numbers. DocuSign is up by 8.3% today. Enphase is up by 7.4%. EPAM Systems is up by 4.7%. Fortinet is up by 3.4%. Google is still down. GoodRx is also not up. Netflix is up as well today, and Nvidia is also up by 2.5%. Oracle is down by 1.3%. Pinterest is up by 4.4%. Palantir is up by 4.8%. Qualcomm is up by 1.2%. Teladoc is up by 7% today. That's interesting. Tesla is up by 0.7%. Tech2 is down currently 1.4%. Twitter is up by 2.6%. Upstart is up by 6.16%. Oxy is up by 1.3%. And Unity Software is up by 12% today. I was thinking of buying it actually. And Target is down by 4%, we discussed. Revolve is up by 3.07%. There's another stock up today is Zoom. Zoom Video Communication, it is up by 8.7%. Their earnings are approaching. So let's say if there is any update. So with that, we'll end today's session. So we discussed about the market and we took 2 positions there. We'll continue them in our portfolio section. Thanks a lot for joining today, and happy trading. See you back tomorrow on Friday.